Inside a church in this working-class neighborhood of Madrid, a small group of protesters are preparing to demonstrate against this week's NATO summit in Madrid. People here are experiencing the harsh consequences of the war in Ukraine, of rising prices of food and energy. For them, asking for peace is more than a moral statement, and they believe NATO is responsible for the situation.
What we call the Ukraine war is not a war between Russia and Ukraine, it's a war between NATO and Russia.
The Spanish left has been traditionally against NATO. During Soviet times, they saw the alliance as the iron fist of American imperialism. Some still believe NATO is an instrument to advance the United States agenda.
When the Soviet Union disappeared, what happened was that NATO didn't disappear as well. In fact, it took advantage of there not being a counterpower to reinforce NATO as an intervention tool.
In Madrid, thousands gathered against NATO and called for peace talks to end the war in Ukraine. The demonstration has been backed by the leftist parties in the coalition government of Pedro Sánchez, which is organizing the NATO summit in Madrid. The demonstrators think an armed response is not the solution to end the conflict.
Of course, we are also opposed to Putin, and this is also a central message. But we also think the response to Putin can't be the militarization of our societies.
Critics of the demonstration say putting the spotlight on NATO is distracting attention from the real problem, which is the suffering of Ukrainian people caused by an unjustified Russian invasion.
With world leaders arriving in Madrid in just a few days, this is certainly not the image Spain would like to be projecting to the world. But the government insists 80% of the Spaniards now support NATO. In Madrid, Jaime Velázquez, Euronews.